Bill, thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, and as I walk through here, and especially hearing Mr. Seuss talk about this company, started by Dudley Taylor back in 1949, and you all are reflective of what really makes America great. Some entrepreneur that started with a small business, and now it's been built into one of the great, I'll say manufacturers, but also just companies that serve the public in such a great way. So, Philip, again, I want to say thank you. It's great to be in this part of Iowa. I love being around working men and women. I mean, you all truly are the heart and soul of this country when it comes to going to work every day and feeding your families and taking care of them, and the pride that comes along with being able to have a good job and to take care of your family, I think is right at the epicenter of what makes America great. As you know, I launched my campaign for the presidency just 3 days ago, and I couldn't have done it without the love and support of some, just in my opinion, some really incredible people. And that's obviously my beautiful wife, Anita, who we've been married, I think we'll be celebrating 30 years this November. And and Griffin and Meredith, his new wife, of a little over a year and a half, and then baby Sydney, as we refer to her, and it's just an awesome trip so far to be looking at America, going across Iowa, and I grew up on a farm out in Paint Creek, Texas, and I don't try to look at it on a map because it doesn't have a zip code, but it's about 200 miles west of Fort Worth, Dallas area, and on a dryland cotton farm. So being around men and women like you, whether it was going up to the John Deere house in Haskell and seeing the just people who don't mind getting their hands dirty and that are working and really the backbone of America. And I happen to believe, and one of the reasons that we came to Iowa is that you really deserved is to look the next president of the United States in the eye, test their mettle, which I'm going to be spending a lot of time in your state. So, and I'm running because I truly believe in the working men and women and making sure that every able-bodied individual who wants a job can have a job in this country. I'm working to get America, or I'm running to get America working again, I guess is the best way to say it. And our nation just can't afford 4 more years of what we've had from the standpoint of this rising unemployment and the rising taxes and the rising debt that we're seeing in this country. Of course, now we're told we're in a recovery. I don't know about y'all, but I can promise you that that 9% plus of people that are unemployed don't think we're an economy. The 16% of the African American population that's out of work doesn't think we're in a recovery. The 11% of the Hispanic population, they know we're not in a recovery. Are people that only have part-time jobs. They don't think we're in a recovery. And those that have just quit looking. I mean, men and women who just said, we give up because the folks like Phil and that make the decisions about hiring in this country, they basically say, we don't know what foot's going to drop. Our shoe's going to drop next, and so they're really concerned about the taxes and the regulations and the things that are coming. When you have 1 in 6 of the work eligible Americans who don't have a job, that is not a recovery. That's an economic disaster. And here in Iowa, you've lost 17,600 jobs since President Obama's stimulus package passed. That 7,400 of those were in manufacturing. and 7,000 of those were in construction. Today, 1 in 8 Iowans are on food stamps. You know, that is a testament to the widespread misery that's been created by this administration. That the state, we drove by just acre after acre after acre of beautiful corn and soybeans. You know, you're the state that's known for feeding America, and we're looking here at how many residents are on government-funded food stamps. You know, and you got to ask yourself, what is the president's idea to fix the economy? Well, apparently it's to create a new jobs agency. Yeah, combining part of the Department of Commerce, the U.S. Trade Representative's Office, and the State Department, and we're going to create a new agency of jobs. Now, don't you know that'll get the job done? You know, Mr. President, you've tried now for 2.5 years of government creating jobs, and it's time to let the private sector get back to work. That's the real way to create jobs in America. What America needs is jobs. They don't need symbolism. We need new jobs. We don't need new federal agencies. And if you want to create jobs, don't create a new agency. Stop all the unnecessary regulations that these agencies are already implementing, and frankly out of control in some places. You know, give the market the confidence that I think we should go into a 6-month freeze of all federal regulations, new federal regulations. You know, get the EPA and the Department of Labor out of the way so that employers can start hiring people. You know, as governor of Texas, I took a rather simple approach, but I had some very basic guiding principles that we implemented in Texas, and they were very successful. Number one is don't spend all the money. Washington should try that. You know, and have a tax system that is as soft and as low as you can keep it and still deliver essential services. Have predictability in your regulations. Have fair but predictable regulations. Have a legal system that doesn't allow for oversuing. And it works. Since June of 2009, you know, Texas is about 8% of the population of America total. But 40% of all the new jobs created in the United States were in the state of Texas. And it's time for us in this country to simplify our taxes in this country. It's time for us to quit spending all the money that we don't even have. I mean, stop printing the money that's devaluing our dollars. We need to get our fiscal house in order and restore our good credit in this country. And we've got to, I mean, just no question about it, we must repeal this president's misguided, one-size-fits-all government health care plan for once and for all. You know, this last Friday, the 11th Court of Appeals, they upheld our nation's laws by declaring the mandate on Obamacare, that single-payer individual mandate, as unconstitutional. And you can be proud that Iowa had joined into that in lawsuit with 26 other states, including Texas. And you know, the fact is, if the courts don't ultimately overturn this president's audacious attempt to take over our health care, I can promise you, as President of the United States, I will. And I'll make you one other promise. And that is, if you elect me President of the United States, I will go there and every day try to make Washington, D.C. as inconsequential in your life as I can. You know, as a relatively young boy, I volunteered to serve my country in the United States Air Force. And I had the great privilege to travel all over the globe as a tactical airlifter. And one of the things that I learned as I left the soil of America and saw other countries, other governments, is how blessed we are to live in this country. And I know that America, and I'll use the words of Abraham Lincoln and Ronald Reagan, America is the last best hope for mankind. We don't need a president that goes on an apology tour around the world for America. We need a president who will stand up and protect and project the values that we know America is all about. Fact is, America's not broken. It's Washington, D.C. that's broken. And simply put, America just needs new leadership. We don't have to settle for our current circumstances. We have the power to change that because we are Americans. And I believe in America. I believe in her purpose and her promise. I believe the best days in this country are still in front of us. I believe that her greatest deeds have not yet been written in the annals of history. And with your help, God's grace, and the rest of the people in this country, we will have our country back again. God bless you, and thank you all for being here with us.